Welcome back, parents. I'm your host, Jordan Langdon, and today we're diving into a topic that not only brings families together, but also equips our children with an essential life skill: cooking. Now, before we get started, if you haven't checked out our previous episode with Katie Kimball, where she talks about transforming mealtime and dealing with picky eaters, you're missing out. It's a fantastic conversation that aligns perfectly with today's theme. So pop back over to our list of episodes and give it a listen. It's episode 77, all about picky eaters. Now, on to today's episode, Empowering Kids in the Kitchen, a recipe for stronger bonds and lifelong skills. We're talking about getting our little ones interested in making meals, and specifically how they can use knives safely to cut and chop. I know it might sound daunting, but trust me, the benefits are immense. And parents, I get it. The thought of handing a knife to your child can be absolutely nerve-wracking. But imagine this. Not only will they be helping you in the kitchen several times a week, but they will also be leaving home with a valuable life skill: cooking. Guys, picture them confidently whipping up their own meals in college and for their friends, and when they become parents one day. Maybe even surprising you with breakfast in bed in just a few short months. Can you imagine waking up on a Saturday morning an hour later because you know your kids are taking care of breakfast for the family? It is possible. I can tell you from experience. Now, it's understandable that it might take a bit more time initially, and that's okay, right? We are in this together, creating a positive, team-like atmosphere in our homes. Isn't that what it's all about? I mean, we talk all the time at Families of Character about working together as a team versus this sort of top-down approach where we're telling our kids what to do and then we are doing something different. I don't know if you were raised in a home where you felt like your parents doled out chores to you, but they were sitting and reading the paper or something like that, and it just felt really disconnecting. Well, we are all about unifying the family by doing things together. So think of it as an investment in your child's future independence and well-being. And plus, it's an opportunity to bond and create lasting memories. You know, when people are asked about their favorite family memories, many times their response has something to do with a memory in the kitchen, a memory over a good meal, or a tradition of pitching in to make a favorite family recipe. Okay, wait, you might be listening thinking like, what a mess that would be to teach my kids to cook, Jordan. I'd rather do it myself so I don't have the mess. Guys, I get it. Coming up with meal ideas, shopping, cooking by yourself, it can be a real drag. And then having everyone complain that they don't even like the food that you make. It's a struggle that we've all faced. But I can tell you, in my past, I used to do everything for everyone because I thought it would be quicker and I'd get it done in the way I wanted it to be done. But I burned out. That is a true recipe to burn yourself out as a parent. No, thank you. One of the things Katie mentioned in the Picky Eater episode is that when kids get food all over their faces and their hands and the counters and the cutting boards, it's actually really good for them because by engaging the food with all their senses, by feeling it and smelling it and tasting it and listening to the sounds it makes, they become even more open to trying it. I know you probably got the visual of the toddler in the high chair with spaghetti and meatballs in his hair with those orange stained cheeks and that big old grin. Kids love it. And a little mess in the kitchen is worth the benefits. It really is. Kids can also be part of the cleanup process, and they get into that too. Guys, This advice is gold. That's exactly why I decided to do a follow-up episode about it. Cooking in the kitchen happens on a daily basis, right? If we're not running through the drive-thru, which we do sometimes, we have to, right? To just take a shortcut every once in a while to give ourselves a break. But there is so much time spent in the kitchen that we could use it for good. Our kids have been learning to cook, and I've got to say, I never imagined getting so many nights off in the kitchen. Seriously, I just thought I was destined to be in the kitchen every day, pounding it out and listening to the complaints, and that was just part of the sacrifice of being a mom. Seriously. But our 17-year-old son cooks several dinners per week for us. Guys, it's a game changer to be off that many nights a week of cooking and to have him step in and take the lead. And our 9 and 11-year-olds, they love to cook breakfast. They cook eggs and bacon, and even just this morning, they were using a metal cookie cutter in the center of a frying pan to make a cutout shape in the middle of their pancakes. And of course, the benefit of doing this is so that they could dump syrup in the hole and then get a little extra sweetness out of their meal. Now, have they cut their fingers and had a few mild burns? Of course, but they will tell you it's all been worth it. And you know what? I agree. Safety is one of our biggest values in the Langdon house. We've given them important phrases to remember when cooking, like, guys, 3 points of contact. That means keep your feet on the floor, one hand on the skillet handle, and one hand on the spatula or the stirring spoon. And Katie Kimball, her website, kidscookrealfoods.com, she also has several really awesome, catchy phrases for kids to remember safe practices while they're in the kitchen, either preparing food or cooking it. And my kids actually remember some of her phrases, and they'll remind me like, Mom, remember, hey, hey, out of the way. Well, that phrase refers to getting your fingers back out of the way when you're holding the end of a carrot or celery and you're chopping it at the other end. And then she also tells them to be sure their fingers are standing like stiff soldiers when they're holding a veggie. They definitely remember that one. So let's think about kind of a tip your toes in the water way to get your kids in the kitchen without being overwhelmed as the parent. You don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to make a meal right off the bat. I personally recommend starting with just one new cooking skill a week, maybe 10 to 15 minutes on a slower paced day like a Sunday. It's a perfect opportunity to engage the whole family in the kitchen without feeling rushed. And you can make it a fun, interactive experience that everyone looks forward to. You know, we love to have a family dinner on Sunday evenings that everyone contributes to. So if you've been listening to our podcast for a while, you've heard our episodes about our weekly family huddle that we have on Sundays. We've had one every Sunday for, well, since 2019. You do the math. That's a lot of family huddles when you think about doing one per week. But we do these on a Sunday, and in our family huddle, we just quickly decide on the meal for the following Sunday. And then one person will find a recipe online, and then another person makes a grocery shopping list. And then, the day before, we'll go shop for all the ingredients. And then we all pitch in some way to cut, chop, saute, bake, and just sing our way to a delicious meal. Because you got to admit, music makes every experience just a little bit more fun, right? And the kids get so excited to serve and eat the meal because they had a hand in choosing it, shopping for the ingredients, and preparing it. The pride on their faces is just so precious. And guess what? The kids will even try foods they wouldn't normally try because they've used their senses to work with it in the kitchen and make something with it. Tomatoes, Brussels sprouts, It's amazing, just like Katie Kimball said on the previous episodes, how kids have a greater interest in trying something when they've engaged with it. Who knew? I love these awesome tips that help us as parents. And to guide you on this little culinary family journey, I, of course, have a fantastic resource to share. The Kids Cook Real Food online courses taught by Katie herself. They provide step-by-step lessons on safe knife skills and age-appropriate cooking techniques. Guess what, Mom and Dad? You don't have to do the teaching either. Isn't it true that kids tend to listen better when someone else is teaching them? Katie's courses are a perfect length for young kids to keep their attention and help them at their stage of development. Even toddlers can watch the videos and use a butter knife and a banana to get started. These courses are awesome. And buying a very affordable video course would be an awesome gift to give for the holidays too. Kids generally prefer experiences where they can level up in personal responsibility or adventure versus another toy they're just going to tire of in a few short weeks. And don't worry, I've got a special offer for you listeners. When you use our affiliate link to sign up for a kids cooking course, not only will you and your child benefit, but our organization will get a little gift too. Families of Character is a nonprofit organization, meaning that we rely on donations from our listeners in order to provide free resources like this podcast and our free resources that we hand out in our weekly email newsletters. So if you're not getting our newsletters, be sure to go to familiesofcharacter.com and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on those free printable resources we include. And you know what, guys? Buying a cooking course for your kids and engaging in that as a family over the holidays, that would just be a great way to, give yourself the gift of some family, bonding, and give our organization a little bonus too. So check it out. Check out these resources. We can't recommend Kids Cook Real Food enough. They've actually been awarded the best virtual kids cooking classes by the Wall Street Journal. And they don't just have cooking classes for really young kids. It goes all the way up to your teenagers, okay? So I'm going to second the, best virtual kids cooking classes by the Wall Street Journal, hands down, because Katie is such a personal, has kind of just a personal touch with a culinary genius mixed all together. She's a teacher, a mom, a stress mastery expert. Yeah, so Katie's got the corner on how to get your kids excited about helping in the kitchen. So what do you need to do first? First, click the link in the description of this episode to get your free kids knife skills class delivered right to your inbox in just seconds. It's just a quick 10-minute video, and you have unlimited access to watch that video over and over if you'd like. Then, if you like the knife skills course, you can browse Katie's other cooking classes and purchase those through our specific Families of Character page on their site. And again, that page is linked directly in the description of this episode. And guys, think about it. By taking this step, you're not just teaching your kids to cook, you're fostering a sense of responsibility, teamwork, and the joy of creating something together. Imagine the pride on their faces when they serve a dish they've prepared. Guys, remember, the kitchen isn't just a place for meals. It's a space where memories and character are crafted. Guys, check out our shop, familiesofcharacter.com. Not only do we have links to these cooking videos, but we also have our own parent coaching courses that you can sign up and be a part of. And guess what? They're virtual too. Right from your own home, put the kids to bed and jump on a live coaching course. And you will find that your relationship with your spouse and the unity of your family, where your kids are bonding together with you like a true team, is going to skyrocket. So again, check us out at familiesofcharacter.com. Take care, guys.